Hello, and welcome to 18th Century News. I'm Riley Chirico.
And I'm Dakota Loomis.
First up, there's a new craze throughout Europe: canned food. French Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte offered a cash prize to anyone who could keep food fresh for a long period of time. Nicolas Appert, a French cook with a big brain, got the message and put his humongous head to work. After years and years of trial and error, he finally came up with a glass jar sealed with wax and reinforced with wire. Nicholas received 12,000 francs for a reward. That's about $2,082.77. Now, over to Jacob and Joseph.
Thanks, Riley. The first hot air balloon was just flown over Paris. The Montgolfier brothers created the 30-foot tall balloon. In the audience to watch this historic flight were Marie Antoinette and King Louis. The only passengers in the balloon's gondola were a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. They flew the distance of 2 miles and after 8 minutes returned to Earth. Happily, the animals were unharmed.
Related to hot air balloons, Frenchman André-Jacques Goneman has just jumped 3,200 feet from a hydrogen balloon above Paris. His parachute had a 26-foot canopy. Leonardo da Vinci came up with the idea a couple hundred years ago, and another Frenchman used 2 umbrellas to jump from a tree, but Goneman is the first man to actually use a parachute to slow a man's fall.
And Charles Lennox has created a document called the Articles of Agreement. The Articles are a set of rules for the popular game of cricket.
On the more violent hand, an English bare-knuckle boxer named John Jack Broughton has retired with the English title, which he held for 6 years. Broughton made a set of rules for the sport that included ideas such as a requirement for a 30-second interval between each match. Back to you, Riley and Dakota.
And now for an interesting report about an incredibly mistreated accessory for the head, the top hat. The inventor of the top hat is on England's most wanted list. Apparently, the English hat maker was walking on the streets of London with his brand new accessory on his head. The top hat resembled a fat black stovepipe. Within a very short period of time, a crowd mobbed around him. Women fainted and babies started crying. The commotion caught the attention of a nearby police officer. The officer grabbed him by the collar and summoned him before the court.
You may be wondering why I am not standing outside right now. The answer is, it is negative 12 degrees Celsius right now. Nearly 600,000 people have died from the extreme cold, and many are mourning loved ones throughout Europe. The cold is so extreme that trees have exploded. The Baltic Sea has frozen so completely that you can walk across it, and nearly all the birds in Europe have died. Dennis Wheeler, a climatologist at the University of Summerland, commented, "Something unusual seems to have been happening."
Thanks for that report, Lucy. In other news, Captain Vitus Bering and his second-in-command, Oleksiy Cherokov, have sailed 2 ships to North America. They recently saw land and have been calling it Alaska. When the explorers first arrived, 11 men went to the shore, but never came back. Captain Bering sent 4 more men ashore, but they disappeared also. Now Ketavon is in Mexico to talk about a possible Spanish shipwreck.
That's right, Dakota. Spanish ship El Cabo set sail from Veracruz several days ago, headed towards Spanish Louisiana. It was carrying 450,000 silver pesos. It has not arrived yet, and experts fear it might have been shipwrecked. Now for a short commercial break. Hey peeps, get a nice refreshing drink at Swedish Shopping. This popular new drink is called carbonated water. It's finally been created artificially. It's fizzy and wet.
I'll see you, Queen, more important sports.
Today, we'll be talking about some recent trends in European fashion. In clothing, hoop skirts are very popular from us women. You'll also see many people wearing wigs in public spaces. Also, fabric patches affixed to people's faces with tree sap have become a popular fad. And masks for eyebrows are a top trend. Women simply shave off their eyebrows and attach masks for something called pedestrianism has become very popular. This new sport involves groups of people walking long distances. Well, that's it for now. Time to hand it over to Riley and Dakota.
Thanks, Carlos. 2 months ago, a money pit was discovered on a Canadian island by Danny McGuinness, John Smith, Anthony Vogue, and Sam Ball. They reported seeing strange lights coming from the island. When they went to investigate, they noticed a deep circular depression in the earth beneath a tree with a tackle block on it. The men had dug for about 2 feet when they found stones. Every 10 feet they have found oak planks. Mysteriously, there are no oak trees on the island. Hopefully, we'll have an update on the story in the future. Sean is on location with breaking news.
I'm Sean Lewin, reporting from Madrid, where the kingdoms of Spain and Portugal have signed a treaty. It's being called the Treaty of Madrid. Portugal finally gains land in the south, central, and northern regions of South America. The treaty also stipulated that Spain would get the colony of Sacramento and Portugal the Misiones Orientales. Toodles!
And now, the simplest, most delicious entree ever has been invented. That's right, I'm talking about the sandwich. John Montague, also known as the Fourth Earl Sandwich, was on a 24-hour gambling streak when he got hungry. He instructed his cook to prepare something for him that would not interfere with his game. The cook, deciding that eating something with hands required less concentration than with utensils, placed sliced meat in between 2 pieces of toast. It was just what Montague wanted. Oh, and to make that sandwich even better, mayonnaise has just been invented.
Bonjour from France. I'm talking to you, America. This exclusive new product has been shipped all the way to the New World for your delectable enjoyment. It is mayonnaise. Piece by piece, this condiment is extremely tasty, containing oil, egg yolk, and vinegar. You can hurry down to Chose Delicieux.
Ever get tired of those snooty French aristocrats? Have I got a product for you? The new guillotine solves that. They'll be gone in a flash. Mwah! Off with their heads.
Let's be cake!
Oh, please! Ever wanted to visit poor people in Naples, Italy? Well, now you can. Go there for a vacay and see the treat that's bringing in all the crowds. Pizza! Ask the Lazzaroni for thin bread covered in cheese and red tomatoes. It's such a coincidence that their treat is the color of their flag, but that's a story for another time.
Welcome back. In other news, Napoleon Bonaparte was recently in Egypt where one of his French soldiers, who was camping near the town of Rosetta, found a basalt slab. But it was no ordinary slab. It turns out the slab was the key to translating Egyptian hieroglyphics into Greek. The stone is being called the Rosetta Stone. Now I can finally translate the mysterious Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Hey people, do you feel endangered by flames popping up in random places in your room? Now with the hot new invention, the fire extinguisher, you have nothing left to fear. The quick spray, the danger's over in seconds. Take that, flames!
Hey, do you hate to have to wait and keep hitting the doorbell? Detective take forever. Then the new battery is just what you need. Hurry to Italy to get your own voltaic pile.
Let's end this broadcast with an uplifting story. Fear no more. The English pirate known as Blackbeard was killed recently by Robert Maynard, who has claimed a $100 reward. The great Blackbeard was killed off the coast of Ocracoke, North Carolina. Blackbeard's real name was Edward Teach. In battle, he would stick candles in his spear and light it on fire. Blackbeard captured dozens of merchant ships in the Caribbean Sea and along the American coast. But now that he's been killed, no more Jolly Roger. That's all we have for now. Thank you and good night.
Good night, everyone.